Very good morning to all. This is Rajashri, Assistant Professor, PG and Research Department of Commerce, JJ College of Arts and Science, Autonomous, Pudukkottai. Very good morning, students. Today we are going to discuss about the SQL. Introduction to SQL. SQL is a structured query language. Okay. What is SQL? When the user wants to get some information from the database file, he can issue a query. A query is a user request to retrieve the data or information with a certain condition. SQL is a query language that allows the user to specify the condition instance of algorithm. It's the concept of SQL. The user specify the certain condition, the program will go through all the records in the data files and select those records that satisfy the condition. The statistical information of the data, the result of the query will then be stored in a form of a table. User specify a certain condition, the program will go through all the records and they select through the records, and next we have to using for the result of the query, then they store in a form of a table. Okay, next one for how to involve SQL in Fox Pro. Before using SQL, the table should be opened. SQL commands can be entered directly in the command window. To perform a exact matching, we should set ANSI on. Basic structure of an SQL query. First one for general, structure, comparison, grouping, disorder, logical, operator, output and union. General we have to using in selector, all, district, comma and star, as, from, where. These are the general structure. Comparison we have to using in, between, like, percentage, hyphen. Okay, and that's not a hyphen, underscore. Grouping is group by having count sum of average, maximum and minimum. Okay, display order, order by ascending order or descending order. Logical operator and or not. Output info into table and cursor to file, additive to printer to screen. Okay, union means we have to using it union. The situation, student particulars, field, field type, width and contents. Field means when we have to using and create a table where if for example we have to create it in student table, means we need it for student ID, student name, student's data birth and gender, class, H code and D code and remission and M test. Everything we have to need it, so that we have to put for field. And type means it is a data type, and width means it is a size, and content means why we have to using an ID, why we have to using a name, what is the main purpose, what is the expansion, that's why we have that is for the content. And general structure, selector, from, where. Select, this is the syntax for example, select student name from student table where register number equal to 1001. General structure. This is a select star from students. If I enter the select star from student means the entire table will be displayed. Next, list the name and H code. H code means it is a house code of 1A students. Select name, H code, that is house code. Class from student, where class equal to 1A. Select what will be I am selected for name, H code and class. From, where I taken student table, where it is a condition, so class equal to 1A. These are the, everyone see that slide, it is displayed for the query. Okay, 1A. Which is 1A? That only for selector. Next one, list the names and house code of 1A students. 1A students are, these are the final output for 1A students. Next, the characteristics of SQL. SQL allows the user to create, update, delete and retrieve data from your database. SQL is a very simple and easy to learn. Work from your data programs like Database 2, Oracle, MS Access and Cybers MS MS SQL Server, etc. Next one for advantages of SQL. It is a high speed, it is a well defined standard exits, no coding required, it is emergency of ORDB-MS. Okay, high speed, the query we have to using the retrieve the large amount of records from the database quickly and effectively. Well defined standard exits. What does mean? The SQL database use the long established standards which is being adopted by ANSI and ISO. Non-SQL databases do not adhere to any clear and standard. No coding required. What does mean? Using the standard SQL, it is easier to manage the database systems without having to write substantial amount of a code. Emergency of ORDB-MS. It is a previously SQL databases. It is for synapses with the relational databases with the emergence of object-oriented DBMS. Next one for disadvantages of SQL. It is a difficulty in interfacing. It is more features implemented in proprietary way. These are the SQL data types. Big int data type, boolean data type, character data type, decimal data type, double data type and float data type, int data type and small int data type, string data type, timestamp data type and tiny int data type, varchar data type. These are the SQL literals. The SQL literals, it terms the literals and constants, values, synonyms and refers to the fixed data value. The first one for numerical literal, string literal. String literal means it is a string needed to be a single quotes. Boolean literal, it is a true or false. Timestamp literal and null. Null is a duplicate value. Next one for string literal. Using the literal notation to specify the where the string or appear in the syntax of the expression, the condition, SQL function and the SQL statements in other parts of this reference. These are the example hello. Now I am using the single quotes. Okay, the percentage and greater than and less than I am using. Numerical means it is a number. You must use the integer notation to specify an integer whenever interior appears in expressions, the conditions, SQL function and SQL statements described in other parts of this reference. Plus and numbers, point numbers, decimal value or integer value, everything. Okay, or you understand the topic? Thank you, students.